Hey guys, it's Brian here again with another fan video, and what I have for you here is another industrial fan that I picked up off of a local collector. And it's an unbranded fan. It actually came from a Granger catalog back in the 1950s. It's a 20-inch circulator fan. It's got a Dayton cast aluminum blade on it. And it has a 1/4 horsepower General Electric motor. It draws 4.5 amps, spins at 1725 RPM, and it is centrifugally switched, single phase motor. And I will be sure to put a clear picture of the motor tag at the end of the video. It does have the original cord on it, which has this on-off switch that's slightly damaged, so I will not be using that to test the fan. And at one point that base was chrome. It's looking pretty worse for the wear, but I think I can clean that up and fix it. Basically, this is one of those build-it-yourself, piece-it-together industrial fans that Granger offered back in the 50s. You could have your choice of whatever motor you wanted. This one happened to be the big boy motor, and you could choose whatever blade you wanted. You didn't have to get this really deadly looking cast aluminum Dayton blade. Thing's just downright lethal. And yeah, I guess people used to buy these back in the day for shops, warehouses, garages, businesses, and for pole barns. And as you've seen in my video for the Delco fan that's very similar to this, these things are quite powerful. Although this one is slightly different than the Delco. First of all, the blade is different. Second of all, it's got that big 1/4 horsepower monster General Electric motor on the back, and this thing is just ridiculously powerful. It's not a very loud fan, surprisingly enough, but this is not something that I would want to have running around small children or pets, because when they told us as kids not to stick your hands inside that blade would take your hand right off, guaranteed. And if it didn't, it would do some very serious damage. So this is not something that I would want to play around with. And I'm going to tell you the truth, this thing's even more powerful than Big Bertha over there in the corner. So I'm going to go ahead, first of all, before I plug it in, I'll show you some cool features on this. It has these little oil ports. There's one on the back bearing there, and then there's an oil port right there on the front bearing. Not quite as intricate as the Delco, being that the Delco had that tube that went to the front bearing, and it also had a big capacitor on top of the motor, but this thing doesn't even need that. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this beast in. You can see how quickly this thing just kicks on and starts moving air all over the place. Extremely powerful. Very, very, very large amount of air coming off of this fan. But like I said, it's not a very loud fan. You can hear the click in the motor from the centrifugal switch. I'm going to put the phone closer to the motor so you can hear the startup sound, and you can see how the lights dim when I plug it in. It's drawing all those 4.5 amps. You can see how torquey that motor is. The whole fan moves once it gets up to speed. Yeah, this thing is ridiculous. Definitely not something that I plan to use inside the house, that's for sure. So yeah, that's my, I guess we're gonna call this a Granger build-it-yourself circulator fan. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Keep watching, more videos to come.